The February data is in, and we saw a small drop in the industry's average daily subsidy, which decreased by just under 20 cents. This is a slight dip, but it keeps us hovering around that $297 mark we've been tracking since the indexation increase in October. Now, total claiming activity saw a slight increase, with over 6% of Medicare claims assessed by AMOs last month. Voluntary claiming also picked up a bit, with just over 4% of Medicare claims submitted in February as voluntary reclassification requests. The NAC age profile has seen a small uptick, with over 43% of claims now over 12 months of age. One key shift this month is in the average days from request to reassessment. This number jumped from just over 22 days in January to nearly 28 days in February, an increase of almost 26%. While claiming activity itself seems to be stabilizing, this rise in reassessment time suggests there's still some inconsistency in how quickly requests are being actioned. We'll likely see month-on-month shifts in claiming and roster demand as providers work to better align their rosters with targets. Occupancy continued its upward trend throughout February, with the sector-wide rate now sitting at just over 91%. This marks another month of growth following the milestone of surpassing 90% in January. Short-term stays under 6 months also saw a slight increase, with just over 24% of residents staying in care for less than 6 months. However, new permanent admissions experienced a sharp decline, dropping by just over 18% across the sector. Respite usage also fell, down by just over 7%. These shifts may reflect seasonal fluctuations, but as aged care reforms progress and access to care expands, we could see these numbers start to recover in the coming months. At the same time, respite to permanent conversion rates declined by nearly 7% over February to just over 42%, indicating that fewer residents are transitioning from short-term care into permanent placements. This may be influenced by changing consumer preferences or delays in decision-making. And the profile of a residential admission was a slightly younger 85-year-old resident. Total direct care minutes saw a slight increase from January to February, reaching 208.54 minutes per resident per day. However, this remains well below the desired target of 215 minutes. RN time increased by nearly 1.5%, falling just shy of the required 44-minute average. However, despite these improvements, the industry-wide average is still falling short of the mandated target, underscoring the ongoing challenge providers face in meeting care minute benchmarks. While we're seeing progress, there's still more to be done. Providers will need to continue adjusting their rosters and processes to ensure care is delivered effectively and within the required timeframes to meet the mandated care minute targets. We'll be further exploring these challenges surrounding care minutes in our next webinar on March 27th. We'll discuss the financial implications of funding changes, compliance risks, and the growing need for effective staffing strategies. Be sure to register to secure your spot if you haven't already. We hope to see you there.